Hi everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope so. Actually, can I go back to a different slide? Yes. I want to slow down. Yeah. Okay, my voice is going to shake. I'm nervous. I'm human. So, anyways, we see messages like this in the media, and we see that students are not success ready. We all know that. Why are they not ready? It's because teachers usually are not presented with the 21st century tools that are needed to help the students become success ready. We're still using last century material. We're still using last century material, and that does not help the students to learn the real world, something that is happening in the real world today, which is, we all need coding so that we can get a better job. I'm really happy. I don't really seem that way, but I'm really happy to present to you an organization that I founded, and we are going to change the world. We're going to revolutionize the industry, and we're going to do this in many ways. So, ladies and gentlemen, revolution. I am Doina, and obviously I'm not really that good at public speaking. I am Doina, and I founded Revolution. We're a non-profit organization, and we help women in STEM. I founded this organization in 2013, and the reason why I did it is based on personal experience as well as research that we all know that we need to have more women involved in science, technology, engineering, mathematics. How do we do this? It's through many different ways. And the way that we do it at Revolution is we focus on involving more girls that come from low-income families as well as the diverse backgrounds. And that's something that not many companies or organizations focus on, and we feel that we are going to miss on talent. How do I know this? I am an example of that. I am a great example of it. I am an immigrant woman. Back in the day, I was considered youth at risk. I experienced domestic violence and overcame domestic violence as well as homelessness. And I'm a single mother of 2 kids, so therefore I'm expected to fail. Someone back in the day gave me the opportunities that I want to give to the next generation. And I really think that we all need to do the same thing for all women in STEM. We don't need to focus on if you have money to pay, therefore you have access. If you don't have money to pay, then too bad for you, even though you have the talent. This is what I think really stand out. Another thing that we know for sure is that parents and students do not know of the opportunities that are available to them. And even if they do find out, like I was mentioning earlier, they do not have the means to access them. It's imperative that we look at access as being the number one factor in changing the way the system works in terms of having more girls involved in STEM. The way that we consider ourselves to be is the go-to place for girls to come and get resources, to be involved in workshops and camps and whatever we provide, so that they can know more, even if we have to knock door to door. Another thing that we do, and something else that I find that is very important, is to work hand in hand with the government and hopefully change some legislations, I don't know, maybe, but we will try really hard because the government has an important say, they have a bigger voice, and if they hear and they know about what is happening in the industry and the ways that we can get more girls involved, they will create solutions and provide opportunities. So that's something that we really must focus on, something that hasn't really been done, and this is what we come first to do. Another thing that is very important to do is to listen to the needs of the community as well as the needs of the industry. And then to take that information and present it to the government, change some legislations hopefully, and get that information to be available, and let's just call it to be translated for the information. You know how people are, when they're involved in the industry, they have like their own lingo, they talk in a different language that nobody else understands. So we need to take that language and translate it for the general public and make it available to general public so they can be able to understand and learn more about the industry and what is available to them. This is another huge factor why we don't have more women in the industry, and especially that we focus on women from low-income families. And again, we also need to look at ways to do it. It's not just have it available on the website. Let's consider the fact that people that come from low-income families or other diverse backgrounds, they may not have access to information because they probably go to the library for only 30 minutes. What can they do first, right? And well, in so many words, this is basically what we do. And how do we do it? We have amazing people in our team. We have some great women, and also we get support from people that come, whether they're men, they like to help us. And basically it. If you have any questions, please ask me. I would really like to take this to the next level, because I don't want to just talk and so much about revolution, but I just want to see what you guys have in your minds. So take it to the floor. Yes?
What ages do you particularly focus on?
We have grade 1 to the high school. So what our job is to get girls ready for higher education. We hope to start maybe earlier, but that will be later on once we start with getting more sustainable. Yes?
How exactly do you prepare them for higher level education?
For what, sorry?
How do you prepare them exactly? Do you guys provide? Do you guys have programs?
We have workshops, after school programs, as well as camps. This is what we started working on for September. We're starting to work with schools so that we can work in schools and have this presented to people in schools. And the main thing that we focus on is what we want to do is have women that work in the industry to actually run the workshop. So we're taking what is happening in that specific, let's just say science, right? When we talk about the science of forensics. We have someone that is a detective can run the class for us. Kids have the opportunity to see someone in real life that actually works in the industry, and then the industry gets to become connected with the community as well.
What do you think is the biggest barrier for grade 12 students, like girls specifically, in entering like technical programs in the industry? I know there are some obvious answers, like there's like a more male-dominated, I guess, faculty at times. But are there any other insights you have about what's stopping them?
First would be money, because let's face it, college and university is very expensive, and especially in this field. Second is that they were not introduced in, with this field, with this industry really early enough. They probably do not have anybody to inspire them. They don't have role models to say, and even having a mentor, I think, is very important, to have someone that is in the industry, whether they are, in school, whether they are working in the industry, to just basically give them the steps, to have like how I was mentioning earlier. I had somebody, nobody gave me a handout, but somebody told me, maybe you should take this step. If you take this, you're going to get there faster, if you're going to go this way. So this is very important to have, and this is something that we're hoping that we're going to have more of. Yes?
So this stuff clearly doesn't happen overnight. Right?
No.
You just go to one workshop. So how do you exactly, bring this whole idea of preparing for higher level of education home for a lot of these low-income families? I mean, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of these kids get online, they have to go to the library. So how would you make sure that they have some kind of access at home where they can have unlimited amount of time or more of time?
What I really hope is that when we connect, and this is why I really insist on having women from the industry running the workshops, that they get to really see the situation that the girls are in, and they get to understand. Because before they run a workshop, we don't just tell them, hey, this is what we want to do. Maybe you can bring the materials. It's going to take about an hour and a half, and afterwards you're off. That's not how I work. Is I tell them exactly who they work with, what demographic that they work with, where we are going to be, what my main objective is, and that is, I want girls to really understand, to see firsthand what it is to be in the industry, and hopefully the industry gets to see that there is that need, and we get that support from the industry, whether it's financial, whether it's mentoring, whether it's coming with resources, whatever that can be, so that we can have that access. And because we're a nonprofit organization, we apply for grants. It's a pain in the butt, but it's something that we have to do. We also hope to raise some funds to make that available so that we can actually buy something. And when it comes to higher education, what my goal is that in the next maybe 5 years, to be sustainable enough where we'll be able to raise funds so that we can provide scholarships. Because that will not be, a setback for the girls not to, enter into higher education, and as well as implement some entrepreneurial skills. Because we all know there's a lot of people here that I have my higher education, I took it really late in life. That's because I really wanted to have a college degree, but really it was not something needed. If you have the skills of entrepreneurial skills, and you have the resources, and you have access to some fantastic people, then you're going to get there faster. Yes?
As a result, it means you're spending the especially the DevTO talks of making that funds. My question is now, not really many women in the room who are potentially in technology, both the men and women, what can we do to help you?
Sorry, say that again.
What is the biggest thing that we can do as a community to help you?
Raise awareness about VOLUTION, what we do. Talk to the community and see. You never know, you could meet someone in your community. It could be your next door neighbor that could be using what we offer. Also, you can come in and volunteer with us. By the way, every third Wednesday of each month we have volunteer day. We usually meet at People in Code. Yay! We are going to start another thing that we could really use is resources. You can send me email I'm going to, this is basically who we help, by the way. This is advocate. This is why I look at diversity, and I mean diversity in age, diversity in culture, diversity in anything. So resources, if you have them, well, I'll be more than happy to use them. You can give your time as a mentor, if you want to. We don't really care. I don't really look at, if you are a man, you're not able to help. I think we need men to actually change the whole system and close the gender gap. Another thing that we are going to do is we are planning this. This is my opportunity to actually let everybody know that we're planning this community engagement conference where we will have the community, parents, school teachers, other nonprofit organizations that serve our demographics so that I can raise awareness about what we do, as well as we're going to have a panel of women from the industry talking about the opportunities that are in the industry to the community, and then this is where we're going to have the local government, and this is where we want them to hear about the challenges, about the opportunities that could be, and how can they provide those solutions, and how can we change, hopefully some legislations, and let's change the way the books are written so that they will be female friendly, and let's bring forward some more women that are, whoever knew that Cleopatra was actually, what do you know about Cleopatra, first of all? And who is Cleopatra? Up until recently, I thought Cleopatra was just this beautiful woman that, somehow, she just escaped. I don't really know much about it, to be honest with you, from what I've heard from before, but what I've learned is that she was a very smart woman. And again, how we talk about media and how media looks at women in a certain way, and how we're supposed to actually be all pretty, and we don't really have brains, and if we do, let's just not talk about it. And that's that will help. And any way that you can connect us with people that are in the industry that can somehow help, that would be great. You can, if you feel like you want to run a workshop for us, by all means, please do so. So that's how you can get involved with us. Any other questions? Yes. I didn't.
So once upon a time when I was in school, and I remember being in high school, and hearing some of my female classmates who were just like, oh my God, I'm just going to do these 2 science credits or 2 math credits to get college. And so I was like, whatever, I'm going to show my shoulders and go find my business. And fast forward, like say 5 years in uni, and they suddenly could not get into certain fields because of the art.
You did not have the what, sorry?
They didn't get into certain fields because they didn't have the requirements. Now, my question to you is this: how are we going to change, say, that attitude at an early age so that they are a bit more interested in STEM classes, say mathematics, physics, science, and whatnot, so that later on they're not, driven into these areas where, they might want to get into certain industries, but they don't have the requirements. And I'm also saying that because I have a couple nieces, and I'm always bugging them. I'm like, what's up? What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this. Well, have you ever read the code? And they're like, get out of here. So my question to you is this: how are you going to change the perception with these young girls that, for whatever reason, the sciences aren't really cool, and then. And this is just from my personal experience, later on they find themselves, in this area where they can't get in, and meanwhile, the others who just sort of pursue the mathematics, generally STEM, are able to have access.
So there are 2 ways that we're going to do this. One is we are going to launch our STEM Spark project, which by the way, we're going to have a crowdfunding campaign for it, so we hope we'll get your support. And the way that we want to, what that is we are going to go in the community and we're going to interview girls that are women that are in college or university, as well as women that are in decision-making positions, so to speak. And we are going to ask them, where did it all start for you, and what were your challenges? And we take that, we present, and we really believe, I strongly believe that if we educate the parents so that they will get their daughters in, let me go back. The STEM Spark project is while we interview the women and we get all this information about how they all got started, talk about their challenges, and what did they do to get to where they are, that information is going to help us. And let's just say, translate it in a way so that parents will understand that their daughters could have those skills as well. Educating the parents about the skills and about the resources available at an early age is where we are going to get that change. We're going to see that change. A lot of the times, so like I said earlier, there's resources, but people don't have money to pay for them. So we will have that. We're also going to have that education piece. I really hope that parents are going to really understand. My goal is, and I really strongly believe, I've worked in the nonprofit industry for a long time, and I've worked with a diverse group for women, children, youth at risk, immigrants, you name it. And I really saw firsthand how that population, they're so driven and they want to have opportunities, but they don't have it. I really think that, when you see a woman like myself, when I came out of the shelter, for example, I didn't know that there are a lot of opportunities, but somebody told me. And that helped me see that when my daughter actually has, some skills, I got involved into technology. And so when I learned about those opportunities for myself, it helped me identify the skills in my daughter. And it helped me encourage her because I understood the benefits that she will have. So if we are to educate the parents, not our parents, but the parents about the benefits and how to identify the skills in their daughters at an early age, and then have a place for them to take them, which is hopefully us, they can come and they can practice and get a first-hand experience, and as well as introduce them to women that are in the industry. That's how we're going to get them so that they can stay. Because we know that once girls get to the age of 12, they hit puberty, and they much rather look cool than actually get involved into some other extracurricular learning. And so again, starting at a younger age is what helps, and getting the parents, educating the parents about it is how we're going to change it. Yes.
Yes, could you talk about the picture you have up front?
This picture?
Like, when was it? What was it about?
This is a workshop that we run. This was actually one of our first workshops that we ran last year. Those are the so-called pilot projects. This was about the history of women in STEM. And the woman that actually ran the workshop, which is the one behind me, she is a former teacher, and right now she creates educational material for, apps and for phones and for all kind of devices with the computer for kids to learn about philosophy and about STEM. And then she came and she ran the workshop for us. And this was actually at Microsoft Store. And we actually put all that out there in the community, in the Eventbrite, and we just told people, just come. Some of them said, I really cannot pay $10. That's okay, just come. You know what? Microsoft gave us the space for free. This woman came and she gave her time. She brought her resources, and this is how we made it available to everyone to come for free. So it was actually one of our most successful in terms of people wanting to know more. And because of that workshop, actually we had the opportunity to get this woman that came with her daughters, and she wants us to come into her school because she really felt that her daughter got so much out of the workshop. Are we done? One more question. Yes? No, that's you.
Okay.
You're the first.
So,
Can you come a bit closer because it's very hard for me to hear you.
Here's another question. How do you approach school boards about, changing their curriculum in terms of, sort of realizing that, this is an industry that needs to be addressed at an early age? And I'm going to double up by saying that in the primary school system, especially where there are a lot of female teachers, and I figured at some point they might want to bring in, some teachers that have some STEM background, and again, start the nurturing process of STEM in these female students at an early age. Students in general, but obviously with some of the female students there. And as you speak of having role models, and you'll see a female teacher up ahead. Again, I just want to see if you've spoken to some of these school boards, and if you have, what is their sort of, reply into your issues?
Has anybody here been involved with any big corporation? Whether apply for a job or try to change something or whatever. We all know that it takes time. We all know that it takes time to actually do something when you want to work with big corporations. You have to be approved by the board, by this other board, another board, another board. We are work in progress with schools. We have been approached by 2 schools in Mississauga because they want to work with us. They see the value of what we offered. We have had actually other teachers that came to our workshops, and when they saw what we did, we are keeping in collaboration so that we're actually going to work with them. It is a work in progress in terms of school, and I do know that personally we need to change a lot about how schools teach, especially girls. And I'm going to just say one example, something that I've actually seen and I heard firsthand. I went to an event, and they were trying to introduce more youth to technology. And there were all type of people there, men, women, old, young, whatever, you name it. And I was going from table to table so I can learn more about each opportunity that was available. And one of them was a male it was a white male teacher teaching computer science, and my question was, how many girls do you have in your class? And his response was, oh, I don't want to have girls in my class. They're not good at learning this stuff, and that will prevent me from furthering my career. My immediate reaction was to go and choke him, but I never did. So I went outside so I can take a deep breath, and finally when I was talking to someone, like, can you believe he said that? It's like, don't make a scene here, Doina. I said, okay. So I didn't, but that needs to be done, and this is something that I'm working on, going into schools and talking to them and say, we need to change that. That really need, I mean, I immediately thought about my daughter, how she's so involved with Lego, and she likes the digital media, and she takes pictures, and she makes movies, and she learns about stuff on the internet, and she's all into all kind of stuff to create things. And I'm thinking, here she is, has all this, she wants to know more, yet the teacher could tell her, no, you can't do this because you're a girl. So yeah, we are working on that. We do want to change that. That is one of my goals. And again, because we work with the government, I really think we will be able to change a lot of things. And one of my goals is working with the government and change the ways that the books are written, so that they will be gender neutral. Not just talk about girls, but gender neutral, and feature more women from the history of STEM.